Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the channel. My name is Peter, and in this video today I'm going to be talking about the Ridgid 6-gallon pancake air compressor. I'm going to talk about the features and give you a little walkthrough of all the different parts and pieces. That way you know how it works and operates and what everything actually does. And hopefully this helps you. So if this helps you, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything, and let's get into it. Okay, here we got a typical nail gun air compressor setup. I've got a 6-gallon pancake compressor, an 18 gauge brad nailer, a 16 gauge trim or finish nailer, and then I got a 1/4 inch air hose, and then obviously the plug for the compressor. So I'll walk you through the compressor real quick. You've got on the side you have like an on switch to turn the compressor on, and so once you fill the tank all the way up, you have to wait for it to fill up all the way. This is a max 150 psi, so that's why that's going to be running about 150 for the tank pressure. The outlet pressure is going to be here, which is these are the two outlets to plug the air hose into. So some come with 2 outlets for air hose, and some only come with 1. And so you could essentially run 2 different hoses off of this one. But that's the gauge for the pressure for it. And I normally like to run mine about around 120-ish. If you want to go less than that for the tank pressure, you can pull a switch like this out and twist it to the left to decrease the pressure. You can see that going down a little bit. You could go even further down, but that's if you don't want to sink the nail too much, or you don't want to have a lot of pressure or strength behind the nail gun. But I normally like to have it about 120. You could go higher than that if you wanted to. If you wanted to really sink the nail, if it was like some really tough material or something. But normally I like to have it about right there, about 120. And then you push this button to lock it. Okay. Another feature, you have this little pin on the side, which is like if you pull that, it'll release air from the main part of the tank. So if you want that pressure to go down, you could bump that, and it would drain a good bit of the air. And then on the back, you have like the main drain valve. So if you flip that switch, then it will drain all of the compressed air in the tank. And you'll want to do that every so often to drain out the air. And then a lot of times it'll kind of carry some condensation in there, so you want to make sure that drains out so it doesn't rust from the inside. All right, so now I'll show you how to plug this in. It's really easy. You gotta have a tip like that, and then you just push it in and it locks. So you'd have this side and you'd have your nail gun, and you just push it in like that and you're good to go. So then whenever you're done, you're going to pull this part back, but make sure you're holding this good, because remember, this whole thing, it's compressed air, so there's a lot of pressure here. So if you're not holding the hose, when you release this, it's going to shoot off. So and like it could slap you in the face or something like that. So you don't want that to happen. So make sure you got a good hand on the hose when you release it. So you kind of do that and it'll pop off. Just make sure you're holding it good. Hold the hose really well and you'll be fine. And then same thing on the air compressor. You want to have one hand on the hose and one hand to release it. Okay. If you don't have your hand on this hose, it will literally shoot off. I can show you what that's going to look like, but I'll catch it. So watch. It just like shot back. So that could be really dangerous if you're not careful with it. So just make sure when you do unplug it, you got your hand on it. Okay, right here is an 18 gauge brad nailer. You're doing small trim, or you want to leave tiny holes and not big holes with the nails, this is what you want, as long as it's not super structural. Anything from like door trim, crown molding, stuff like that. Baseboards would be great for it. Anyway, so you have the magazine right here, which is where you put the nails. You got the trigger. You got this button here, which can do single drive or multiple drive. I'll show you how that works. You have this dial here. which you turn it one way, it sinks the nail deeper. Turn it the other way, it doesn't sink it as far, so it's a little bit more flush. You have the swivel outlet to connect to the hose, and you have a movable like belt hook, or if you want to hook it on a ladder or whatever you're going to hook it on. And then here's the tip at the top. You get a couple extra spare tips there. So yeah, I want to show you how it works real quick. All right, so first I'll show you how to do the magazine. So you push this button right here and it pops down. You have the nails right here. These are 18 gauge brad nails. You just want to make sure whatever nails you get that is compatible with whatever nail gun you have. And so this is a straight magazine, so you want straight nails. There's also an option. Some nail guns have angled magazines, so you would get the angled finish nails. But this is straight, so you'd put the straight ones in. And this one doesn't take anything more than 2 1/8 inch of a nail. And so these are 2-inch nails, and you can use anything less than that. And then you put the nails in there, make sure it's kind of flush, and then you pop the magazine back up. If for whatever reason you get a jam, like a nail that gets jammed up here or something, you can pop this off and undo it. So first, it'll be helpful to undo the magazine to release the tension of the spring so that these nails don't shoot up, because once you pop this off, or let me see, it was like this. You can undo that right there, and then undo that latch, and so this part opens up so you can get whatever nail that's jammed or whatever. And then once you fix that, you can pop that back down, latch it back on, and drop it back down. Get the nails in there and lock it back in. You're good to go. This is a dial that changes the depth. And then, yeah. Okay, this is a 16 gauge trim nailer. Same functionality as an 18 gauge. You got the swivel outlet, you got a belt hook, you got a trigger, you got the multi mode or the single mode, you got this dial to change the depth of the nail, and you have the magazine right here. This magazine looks a little bit different. That's the only thing different here. And you also have this dial on the back to determine where you want the air to shoot up, because every time you shoot the nail gun, the air is going to shoot out one way or the other. So yeah, and then you have this also. If you have a nail jam or something, you can pop that off and lock that back down, and you have the tip there. So how to insert the nails. On the base, you have this little slot here. So you'd slide that in, make sure it goes in straight, and then feed it in. And then I'll put this one in as well. Okay, and then you would pull this down, let go, and then it's locked in place. If you, for whatever reason, need to pull these nails out, or you're like, I want to use a different type of nail, then you kind of pull back a little bit, and then you press this little black button here, and then this arm will lift up so you can slide the nails down. So it kind of takes 2 hands, but you can slide those back down, and then you can slide those back out. And if you want to keep them, just do that. Okay. And again, on this one, you just want to make sure whatever nail gun you have, that the nails you get are compatible. So it's a 16 gauge nail gun, and it's a straight nail. So you want to get straight 16 gauge nails. And this one can take up to 2.5 inch nails. And so 2.5 or less works on this one.